For cheap and reliable Madden 21 Ultimate Team coins, check out EasyMut.com and use code SPORTS for 5% off your entire order. So what's up YouTube, it's Duke back here from SportsGamers.com, and in today's Madden 21 tip, I want to go over one of my favorite offensive schemes in the game, the gun cluster. We're going to break down a money play in this video, showing you guys just how truly effective the passing game can be from this formation. And if you guys want to see the full scheme, drop me 200 likes on this video and we'll post it for you ASAP. Now the gun cluster to me is one of the most powerful passing formations in the game, and it really is each and every year. The thing is, most years are really big with max protect because of the way the defense is just blitzing heavy. This year, the blitzes and the way the defense is, you actually, more so than not, most people prefer to send a lot of players out on routes and not like rely so much on max protect. So because of the way the game plays, not being able to max protect so easily in this formation doesn't really matter too much this year. Because, like I said, most people like to send their running backs and tight ends out anyways because those are some of the easiest ways to attack the coverages that people play in this game. So, this is in the Arizona Cardinals offensive playbook. And one of the things I really like about this formation is even though the tight end is in the game, by default, you can actually put him on slant routes because he's in a position that they kind of like label as having receiver hot routes. And also, you can use the 4-receiver package if you want to get 4 receivers in the game, which is what I'm going to do here to get more speed on the field. Now, obviously, if you have a really good tight end, you don't need to do that. But if you're playing with a team, more like probably like a reg situation, if you guys play regs, you don't have a good tight end, use 4-receiver package. If you guys play MUT, probably a lot easier to get a really good tight end in the game. So, the play I want to look at is this mesh post. We're going to look at how to attack all different coverages. A lot of people are starting to play more zone coverage because we're getting to the point where, yes, man is good, but you have to mix up your coverages against good players because if you just play man every play, by now people are going to torch that, man. I mean, the game's been out a few months. So let's get into it first. I'm going to just go through some different coverages. We'll start with cover 2. So before we get into the setup, I just want to remind you guys, if you're enjoying my content, make sure you hit that subscribe button in the corner of the video to subscribe to my channel if you're new. You don't want to miss out on this content, and you also want to make sure you turn your notifications on so you don't miss out when my videos go live. Also, smash that like button for me. It really allows me and helps me to continue to do these videos for you guys on a daily basis. Finally, if you need more help in Madden 21, if you enjoy my content on YouTube and you want more premium content, if you need to get better on offense, defense, or both, make sure you guys check out SportsGamers.com. We have the best Madden 21 tips and ebooks available. We have offensive and defensive schemes for purchase. Also, we have the Madden Vault, where every week we post 4 to 6 tips to give you guys a heads up, keep you ahead of the competition, stay ahead of the meta. That's only $12.99 a month. So you're getting basically 4 to 6 tips, a week, all year long at a very low price. And it's definitely a great way to support me if you like my content. So we're going to go ahead. It's a pretty easy setup. What I like to do is put the left receiver, the lone receiver, I like to put him on a hitch route. The next thing I like to do is the X receiver, who's normally the tight end, but I package the receiver in. I'm going to put him on a slant route. Finally, what I'm going to do is I'm going to motion over the receiver right here that's on the slant from right to left. Now, one thing I'll say is the post route by that receiver, that's by default. If you have the ability to hot route him, whether it's by having a hot route master or just a receiver that gives you the extra hot routes to an actual post hot route, I would do that just because it's a little bit crisper in my opinion. But this one will work fine. If you don't have that ability, don't worry. So guys, this slant route we're going to look at one more time. It pretty much is going to get open against everything, whether it's man or zone. This is a route you gotta use her, and if you don't, we can throw it in there every single time. Now, I'm going to show you guys in the replay why this works so well, but the reason why is you have a high-low read with the slant and the post. So, and then you also have this wheel route, which, even though it's a wheel route and it's heading upfield, what it does is its first initial step is into the flat. So any flat zone defender is going to react to it, pushing out the zones to the sideline, and then upfield as well. So normally with a flat route, you just push them to the sideline, but not upfield. Or with other routes that go upfield, you just push them upfield, but not to the sideline. It actually does both, which is really big for us, especially against zone. We can move the zones outside and upfield, just like this. And now there's a huge, as you guys can see here, a huge pocket to work with for this slant route. Now the other thing is, look, because we have this post, it pushes the hook zones back too. Now, obviously, most of the time they're going to user someone over the middle, so they have a choice with their user. Are they going to guard the post or the slant? Whichever one they choose, we hit the other one. And then also over here, we have a flat route and a hitch route. So if you want to get froggy, leave the flats open on either side, we got it. And also, you have to stay at home over here too, because the hitch will just sit down. That's an easy money read for us. If you want to do a different route combination, I could show you a few different things you can do. But that's mainly what we're looking for. So now I'm going to try to show you guys what it looks like if you do try to use it a slant. Because like I said, you hit the slant a couple times, they're probably going to start using it. So, again, we just snap it right when he passes the tackle. If you want to come up on the slant, bam, we're going to hit the post right behind in that little vacant spot. So that's what makes this play so effective, is it puts a lot of stress on the user. It doesn't really matter the coverage. You can see, for example, this is cover 2 here. But, again, look, they have to stay home on the slant. Now the post is going to be wide open behind. If it was cover 3 or cover 4 or whatever, it'd be the same thing. Really, all we have to do is just look where the user is, and then we just attack them away from the user. So we're going to switch that coverage up now, and you're going to see that. Now, I don't want you guys to forget about the other reads on this play, just because we have a hitch, and some flats. I mean, they're kind of routes that more so than anything else provide spacing to get the slant and the post even more open. But, I mean, if people do things like, blitz you, or they use zone drops to where they just drop their zones really far back, whether it's their flats or even their hooks to try to get deeper depth, it doesn't really matter. They do anything like that, you're going to start to want to attack with these little hitches and the flats too. So don't forget about them. They're not really the main focus of the play. But if someone's going to give you that stuff, definitely take it all day long, because that's going to allow you guys to only have more success hitting the deeper routes later on once they see that they have to really do account for the underneath options as well. I've said it a million times this year, but the flats and little checkdowns this year are huge because, and I didn't even snap the ball at the right point there. That's my mistake. But make sure you guys snap the ball right when he passes the tackle, not before, because you don't want him to block, and not right after because you don't want him set either. So let me do that once more. But as you guys can see there, when they do turn zone drops on, all that's going to do is just make it so easy for you guys to hit in the flat. I mean, again, that's a free 10 plus yards there. I got almost 20. But again, a lot of people will also adjust their hook zones to try to drop further back underneath post routes and whatnot. And all that does is that just opens up the underneath for not only the slant, but also the hitch too. Don't forget about the hitch. I mean, the hitch is nice because it does help get the post open. But it's also nice because it's just an easy check down for a low ball that's going to give you 5 to 10 yards every time, okay? So don't forget about that either. It's very, very simple read, and, it's something that you want the defense to have to respect, because, again, if they don't respect this stuff, it makes it a lot easier to defend the deeper routes on the play, which, is not what we want. We don't want to always just force it there. We want to make them cover everything. So now I want to look at cover 3. Cover 3, again, same read. You're really just looking at the user because well, first of all, yes, you always do want to look at your checkdowns first to just see if they're giving you them. But assuming that they do cover the checkdowns like we are here, got this guy underneath, so we're going to use this one. You're going to see that you just have to basically watch the user if he guards the slant or the post. It is a very simple progression. So again, we put this left receiver on the hitch. We go ahead and put the tight end, who's really a receiver because of the 4 receiver package on the slant, and we just motion him over. And it's just at this point that we just see who they use. If they're going to use the post, we hit the slant. If they're going to use the slant, we're going to hit the post. That's simple. Doesn't matter if it's cover 2, cover 3, cover 4, whatever type of coverage they want to use. This play is all about just looking at the user, man. If you see who they're using, that's really all it takes. So here, we're going to base the line this time and do it a bit different. We're going to go ahead and try to defend the let's see here, the slant, because last time we would look to take away the post. Now we're going to try to look to take away the slant. You want to do that? Again, fine. Super easy. Now don't even forget, all this still is assuming that the underneath checkdowns are taken away, such as the flat and then also the hitch too. But, if they're not going to take those away, Like right here, this hook zone really should be over there as well, and he's not. Remember, you can just hit that soft spot every single time. It's wide open. No need to low ball, and we'll be able to get in there for an easy completion. Now, like I said, guys, this formation is a very explosive passing formation. It's not just little dinks and dunks and checkdowns. There's some really explosive plays from here. So if you guys want to see the full scheme, make sure to drop me that 200 likes. But you can already see we got flats. Even though it's a wheel route, still is attacking the flat on the right. It's going to cut upfield. We got the flat attacked over here by the running back. We got the hitch sitting down underneath in the soft spot. But our two favorite reads are the slant and the post. Got to use her both, really, and you can't, so you just hit whichever one they don't. Last coverage we're going to break down, just take a look at cover 4, right? You can't, and again, you can't really utilize this year these dime formations because people will just sub, and you can do this too in the scheme. You can sub multiple tight ends or running backs in the game, which even though you're still in a explosive passing formation, then you can audible down to the run, and that's why it's really hard to run those types of defenses. But, you don't have to do that. You can do what I'm doing here, which is the 4 receiver package that's just actually designed to get as much speed on the field as possible. But like I said, when you're playing MUT this year, that's really not even needed because, well, let's just be honest here. In MUT this year, there's tight ends that are just as good as the receivers, honestly, with a lot of speed. So a lot of times you don't even need to do that. But again, here's cover 4, slant, the hitch, and we're going to motion over to slant. Very easy setup. And again, you can always just read that flat right away. That zone drops are not even on. I mean, that's just a simple cloud flat. They don't have to have the zone drops on for you to attack the flats. If they do something like that, that's an easy, still 10 or so yards with no zone drops, which is going to force them to utilize the hard flats, and that's when we're able to easily hit them over the top with these other reads. Again, here, take a look. Bam, easy little possession catch. That's every single time, and once they want to drop deeper, to take that away with their user, that's when we can hit the slant over the middle. So this play is very easy to use. Whether you're a new player, intermediate, or advanced player, you should be able to make these reads just after a few minutes of taking it to practice mode. I do always recommend, before you take the plays in a game, make sure you go to practice mode, practice your reads against all the different coverages before you try to use it in a game. So hope you guys enjoy it. I'm out of here.